Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. The Gwangju uprising was a popular uprising in the city of Gwangju, South Korea from May 18 to May 27, 1980, in which it is estimated around 600 people were killed. During this period, Gwangju citizens took up arms by robbing local armories and police stations after local Chonnam University students who were demonstrating against the martial law government were fired upon, killed, raped, and beaten by the government troops. The extended martial law closed universities, banned political activities, and further curtailed the press. To enforce martial law, troops were dispatched to various parts of the country. Now, you must be wondering what I'm talking about. Well, today's video is all about an innocent love story set during the 1980s, especially during the Gwangju uprising in the month of May. The drama ended recently with high ratings. Without further delay, let's dive into the video. Youth of May 2021 is a South Korean television series starring Lee Do-hyun, Go Min-si, Lee Sang-gi, and Keum Sae-rok in lead roles. The story is set in 1980s in Korea's town Gwangju. It is a period of Gwangju's uprising. Youth of May tells the story of medical student Hwang Hee-tae, played by Lee Do-hyun, and the nurse Kim Moon-hee, played by Go Min-si, whose love seemed destined by fate. Lee Do-hyun plays Hwang Hee-tae. Hee-tae is a student who enters medical school at the top of his class. He is Hwang Hee-nam's son and Song Ho-rae's stepson. His father is a politician and he was born out of wedlock. His father is power obsessed and will do anything to get his way done. Although Hee-tae entered Seoul University of Medical School with top scores, he postpones his graduation due to a trauma. One of his friend's friend was injured during a protest. His friend, instead of taking her to the hospital, asks Hee-tae to do the treatment. Hee-tae is unable to treat her as he is traumatized and he hospitalizes her, and there she falls into a coma. In order to pay for her hospital expenses, he sells his car. He plans to transfer her to her hometown in Gwangju. Initially, due to the lack of funds, he is unable to make a way for a transfer, but he cuts a deal with his father, who seems not too pleased with Hee-tae's being in Gwangju, and finally gets his hand on some money to bring the patient back home. Hee-tae's stepmother is the only daughter of a famous brewing company. He has a stepbrother who happens to be the rival turned friend of the heroine's brother. Now, let's go to the heroine. Go Min-si plays Kim Moon-hee, the heroine. She is Kim Hyun-cheol's only daughter. Her father is a watch repairman with a doggy leg. Moon-hee has a rocky relationship with her father and is quite literally with no speaking terms with him. She is adorned by her younger brother who is a runner. Her mother is a housewife who takes care of her sick husband and her mother-in-law while raising her and her brother. Her younger brother, born a late child and is raised in love, is an innocent child. He is good at running since he was young and he always ran the relays at a school. Her brother tries to mediate between her father and her. He is a 12-year-old boy who can't even tie his shoelace. Moon-hee has been on the receiving end right from childhood. She is forced to discontinue her school because of the fault of her friend. She becomes a nurse and works hard. Seeing no future here, she decides to pursue her higher studies in Germany. With a scholarship, she gets accepted at a school in Germany. The father of the church she visits offers her a scholarship on a condition that she has to leave to Germany within a month. Despite her relatively young age, Moon-hee is a responsible breadwinner who works hard to make a living and sends money to her younger brother back home. After crossing paths with Hee-tae, Moon-hee begins to change in subtle ways and shows new sides of herself. Keum Sae-rok plays Lee Son-ryeon. Her father is a businessman and she has a brother, So-chan. She is a law student who desperately fights for social justice because she feels responsible for coming from a wealthy family. She spends most of her time in protest. However, she isn't taken seriously because of her father bails her out whenever she gets into trouble. She is a longtime friend of the heroine Moon-hee. As a matter of fact, it is hard to accept So-ryeon as an activist, especially considering that she enjoys all the benefits that come out from being rich and powerful while she cosplays a revolutionary. We can't find fault her comrades for being annoyed with her because as viewers, we too are made to believe that she's just protesting as a hobby. Lee Sang-gi plays Lee So-chan, the brother of So-ryeon and Lee Chang-yeon's son. He is a businessman who works at a trading company after returning from his studies in France. With the 3 years gap, he is the oldest child who places more importance on family than on himself. He relates to Moon-hee because she similarly faces hardship as the head of the household. Now coming to Kwang Young-chan as Kim Hyun-soo. He is Hee-tae's college friend and martial law army man deployed in Gwangju. He was arrested while attending the Department of Korean Language Education at Seoul National University and forced to enlist in the military. A discarded animal, a flower blooming on the sides of the road, in military they are treated as advisors. He has endured day by day harassment from his seniors and intense training. Back to the heroine. Moon-hee gets into the university in Germany, but in order to get a scholarship, she has to leave the country next month. With the lack of money for the plane ticket, her friend cuts a deal with her. According to the deal, Moon-hee has to go 3 times on a date with Hee-tae in her place. That way, she will get the money for the plane ticket. Moon-hee is on a date with Hee-tae in her place. So-ryeon plans to get her friends out of prison who were arrested during the protest. Meets Moon-hee and had several encounters with her before, but not close enough for him to know her name. Moon-hee does all that she can to make Hee-tae dump her, but it doesn't go well for her. Hee-tae, who already saw the real side of Moon-hee, doesn't fall for her rude, weird and absurd behavior during the date. Her sole purpose to make sure that the guy won't like her and wouldn't want to meet her again does not go well. Hee-tae is head over heels on Moon-hee. However, it all starts falling apart when Hee-tae sees Moon-hee on a date, fully aware that she isn't So-ryeon. Initially, Moon-hee does not budge, but soon Moon-hee also reciprocates the feelings and Hee-tae and Moon-hee decide to date until she leaves for Germany in a month. With the original plans pushed aside, Hee-tae and Moon-hee start having genuine feelings for each other, recognizing each other's situation and understanding each other better than anyone else could. It is clear that the two are meant to be together, but the comedy of errors that made this happen will be a huge main for the rest of the narrative. Hee-tae's father is no ordinary personality, and it is clear that he will not tolerate the truth, and on the other hand, Moon-hee's dream stand to be dashed. But in a month, too many drastic changes happen in the country. As a result, will she go to Germany or stay back with Hee-tae? Will the family of Hee-tae approve of his love? At the background of uprising in the 1980s, the story brings the harsh realities of life from the victim's point of view. Now, let's see the review. Why you should see this drama. Number 1. Plot. The story is well written and the acting is superb. This is a period drama where the story happens in the 80s during the turbulent student demonstration. The main characters are nurse and a doctor. Even though there is some medical stuff, it is not a medical drama. It is a more like romance. Number 2. Cast. Lee Do-hyun and Go Min-si worked together in a horror drama Sweet Home where they played siblings. Now in a complete role reversal, the two talented actors are paired opposite each other in this romantic drama. It would be exciting to see them play lovers on screen. The cast is perfect. Lee Do-hyun portrays Hee-tae so good. It really suits him that he played his character very well, since he himself gives vibes that he is similar to this character. The male lead, Do-hyun, is the ideal male lead. I remember him from another drama. He is quite a gifted actor, the man himself. Lee Do-hyun has proved his versatility as an actor and performer in dramas like Prison Playbook, Sweet Home and 18 Again. Male lead, Go Min-si, the woman that never fails to impress me. I absolutely love Moon-hee and she's just an amazing young woman. Lee Sang-hee as Lee So-chan is a nice person and he's hiding some feelings towards Moon-hee. Is it even a K-drama if it doesn't have a solid supporting cast? Keum Sae-rok plays Lee So-ran, who despite being wealthy, desperately fights for social justice and feels responsible. She's friends with Moon-hee and is helping her fulfill her dream. Number 3. The story is progressive. Then this is a story that has a lot of things going on, and one of the most central parts is that of the uprising that were going on at the time of 1980s. It talks about the students fighting for democracy and fighting against injustice. The male lead is not toxic, but this male is different. He's a rich guy, but he's not your average rich guy. He's a sweet, smart, extremely smart and a handsome, protective guy. He's such a respectful human being, so respectful and caring, thoughtful, observant, which makes him such a gentleman. I absolutely love the male lead, and Lee Do-hyun does an excellent job playing this character with the sweet smile of his. Number 4. It's a period drama. However, the narrative is yet to pick up the pace. Youth of May is set in the 1980s, in the month of May to be specific. The 80s in South Korea was an especially turbulent and important period in the history of the nation and is marked as the Gwangju Uprising. During the Gwangju Uprising, citizens of Gwangju took up arms against the government troops when Chonam University student protesters were fired upon, beaten and even killed. The incident had around 600 victims and remains a significant event even today. It is clear therefore that Youth of May will not be a usual romantic comedy with rainbows and sunshine. However, the first 2 episodes seems to take the joy in a misguided sense of normalcy. The very first scene of Youth of May starts off with the skeleton being found at a construction site. The newsmakers, one man, lose control over his sense and we cut back to the 80s. The first episode of Youth of May is painfully slow but busy at the same time as we are introduced to the whole host of characters, but we never come to know them any better than their first impression. 5. Retro theme. Korean dramas capture the 1980s like nobody else does, and if the promos are anything to go by, Youth of May has done a splendid job in showcasing the 1980s with vintage fashion, homes and cars. Not just that, historical significant events in 1980s Korea will be addressed via the show. Number 6. A short melodrama. It's been a very long time since we watched a very good romance melodrama on the screen, and also the Youth of May is a relatively shorter drama with 12 episodes. 12 episodes will allow the storyline to pan out well without overstretching and dramatizing it for no reason. Coming to the verdict. If you don't mind slow burn romances and being tested on your patience, Youth of May is the perfect K-drama for you. On the other hand, if you're more into romantic comedies, quick-paced plot lines and non-serious narratives, you might have to wait for a few more episodes to get into this. There are 12 episodes. The genre is period melodrama, streaming on Rakuten Viki. That's all in this video. If you like this video, please do share with your family and friends. And thank you for your continuous support, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button. I'll be back soon with another video. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.